Hey, morning gamers. Welcome to the Blue Gamer Bluecast Morning Show. I'm your host, Adam Blue 30 Plus, your video game enthusiast, industry analyst. Been following the industry and playing games forever. I remember back in the days when it was N64.com before IGN bought them. And I would post on LiveJournal about my gaming. It was a fun time. But now I do it live through a screen directly to you in real time, which is insane to think. But morning. Good to see you, Ultronymous. Yeah, we were just talking a lot yesterday because of I'll get to it, the Godzilla on PS3. But yeah, maybe we should jump into it because there's a lot of news because it's stuff that I even missed. Because yesterday, I guess I kind of had a busy day, got off work, went out with family, came back, did a live stream. But let's dive into the news, actually. Let's dive into the first thing, and that is what I've been playing. Don't let those anime girls get to you. Okay, there we go. There's a Castlevania character. No, so yesterday, what was I playing? Well, actually, I did not play Fortnite. My son was playing it on my account to, like, help me unlock stuff. Thank you. Not that I needed to, but... so there's that. But yeah, Vampire Survivors. So here's what's up with Vampire Survivors. You guys have heard me talk about it. Wow, 50 hours. Oh my God. Where it's like, I'm tired of the gameplay loop. I'm playing just to unlock the Castlevania stuff. I've unlocked all of the new music in terms of them taking the old songs and redoing their own style, which is awesome. But I could still unlock the original music. Like, they have the soundtracks you can choose when you play. For some reason, you can only choose one song, which doesn't make sense because you could be playing for 30 minutes. I don't know. But then you can choose music from the actual Castlevania games, and I don't have all those unlocked, because then I realized, look, I unlocked all the characters and beat the game. But then once I beat the game, there was more characters to unlock, okay? I unlocked all those characters. Now there's more characters to unlock and more hidden things going on in the game, and it's like, oh my gosh, like, the Castlevania part of me wants to do this, but as a game, Vampire Survivors, I am done with it. So what I do is I'll play like 15 minutes a day or something. That's what I did yesterday. I played just because I could, maybe 30, because you can, between 7 and 14 minutes, you can sometimes get a task done and completed. But then sometimes things, yeah, so, and I'll do a couple of those. Again, if you've never played Vampire Survivors, it's very fun. To me, just as a individual, 50 hours is more time than I need spent on it. Again, it's just me doing all this Castlevania DLC. Hey, Jam Killix, good to see you. Okay, what else did I play? Well, let me show you. And actually, it doesn't show up in here because I don't think it's weird. It doesn't do it based on time. Let's go to PSN. There we go, Godzilla. So, how did I get Godzilla on Exophase? Well, here's what you do. If you're using RPCS3 and, trophies unlock as you play these games in an emulator, there's a folder structure that has the trophies in it, and you can actually go in and create a zip, and then there's a page right on Exophase. Let me just click here. Where, yeah, you can just choose the file and upload it, and then all of a sudden, your trophies from PS3 are there. Just because there's no other way to link the PS3 trophies, because Retro Achievements doesn't have PS3 yet. And then I guess, since you're playing on an emulator, you can't really link to your PSN. So this is another way to do it, which is awesome. So, because I originally played Godzilla on PS4. I wonder if it shows... That's weird that it won't, because I tried searching for it before. I wonder how far down. Oh, but like, for instance, it's showing a Mobile Suit Gundam Battlefield Record UC0081, because I was playing that in the emulator. What was the other one? Unicorn. Played that on the emulator, so I was able to upload that. So, what it's cool about it is because this is a way, again, where I can track my gaming. So I can come back and be like, yeah, I want to find, when would that have been that I played Alphabetical. Okay, let's go alphabetical and see if I have the PS4 Godzilla, because it would be weird if I didn't. Because I have actually, there's a video on, yeah, there we go. So I played the PS4 Godzilla for 5 hours, which I think was a good amount of time. So yeah, now when I play the PS3 one, it's like I can get an idea of how much further I can go. And the reason I'm playing the PS3 one is so they've announced recently that there is now PS4 emulation on PC that can work. I haven't been able to find a ROM file for Godzilla on PS4. And at the same time, it's PS4 is still an active system, even though that Godzilla game has been taken down. You can't get it digitally, and it's out of print. So I almost feel like I have the right to then try to track this down, especially because I used to have it anyway. Yeah, 2015 was the last time I played it. So anyway, it's easy to get the PS3 version up and running. You can do it either through an emulator or custom firmware on a PS3, and then you can download the games that way. But also, I got to say, on the PS3 emulator, it looks just as good as I remember it looking on the PS4. I mean, again, the graphics weren't that amazing anyway, but I think the PS4 just allowed the high-res textures that you can get out of playing the PS3 game on the emulator. Maybe there might be some particle effects missing or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's exciting, and I know this weekend I'm mainly going to be playing that game because I loved it back when I played it. Yeah, I played 5 hours of it, which wasn't a lot, but during that time in my life, I was juggling very young kids, 2015, very young kids and playing other video games. And, a Godzilla PS4 game would take, a back seat compared to other games that I could be playing, Really, God of War Ascension 20, yeah, that makes sense, because I remember this is that fourth God of War, I was trying to play through it. Actually, let me do something here. Let's go by last played, I guess, yeah, and then, but I can't, I can sort, but I can't, like, reverse it. Let me see how quickly I can, because this is, I'm hoping to get, like, okay, here we go. We're getting into the 25th, okay. So we're some games I was playing during that time, and this is just PS3, but, oh, I remember playing a lot of Drive Club. Look at that, 22 hours. That was a great game. I thought it's crazy they shut it down. It was the perfect mix of arcade and sim. And then Drawn to Death. I played it a lot. For some reason, it didn't seem to track the time. And no trophies. I really liked that game. Snoopy's Grand Adventure. I want to say that was a pretty cool game. It's weird that has 4 on it. Yeah, this was a not a flight sim game, or was it not? A side-scrolling. Okay, no, I'm thinking of something else then. Yeah, because I know there was a game that was a Snoopy flight game, but anyway. Wow, 49 hours into Black Ops 3. Let's see. 120 hours in Destiny? Is that real? Did I really play that game that long? I mean, at that time, no shots to people that like Destiny, but I remember I didn't really care for it too much, but it was just everyone was playing it, so it was just the thing to do. Order 1886. Yeah, it's kind of cool looking back at these games. Oh, Dark Souls 2. Interesting, only 5 hours. I think it's because then I ended up playing it on PC instead. But interesting that I went 5 hours on console. Sometimes it's weird to go back and see what games I was playing. Yeah, that's interesting times. Okay. I want to jump into news. There's a lot of news that I didn't get to yesterday because I was busy. So Blizzard Shadow drops Warcraft 1, 2 remasters for 30th anniversary. Yeah, so they have the Battle Chest, which maybe I can just show it here. So it's on the Blizzard app for the Battle Chest. I would think, and maybe it is, and I haven't seen the news yet, like this would be on Game Pass or something, or on Xbox or PC. Oh, Snoopy Flying Ace. Thanks, Jim Killax. So $40. But it's funny. This takes me back to when I remember long time ago. This had been the 90s when the first Battle Chest came out. There was Warcraft and Warcraft 2 with the Battle.net edition, and spending $40 on that. It's like come full circle where it's like, here it is again, but with Reforged. Anyway, 40 seems like an okay price, but I'm just surprised that I'm not seeing it on the Xbox store or on Game Pass. Game Pass does have the Spyro Reignited trilogy, which they do own. So it's cool that they have it on there. In fact, I should probably play through that. I've never played through fully a Spyro game. Let me hit up the store real quick just to see if I type in Warcraft. No. So I would totally play the Warcraft 2 remastered, but I would wait till it came out on a Game Pass, just because now, I pay for Game Pass, and with all these brands and IPs Xbox owns, that needs to be there. Let me see if it says anything. I feel like this thing is zoomed in all the way. Yeah, it is. There we go. Oh my God, that's so much better. So yeah, nothing in the article for Game Pass. So, or if I just put Xbox. Interesting that they're not even bringing any of that up in this article. But okay, maybe they're just to quickly get that news out. Another news item, Xbox boss Phil Spencer expresses his dislike of manipulative expansions. That's very interesting because he says that they're not mandatory for first-party titles. And I know that has to do with a lot of the... what was that? And it's the picture of the game here, right? The space game. God, Adam, why? I didn't wake up that long ago, and then I ran outside, so I'm a little tired. Anyway, Starfield. And the expansion, people were like, what is this? And let's see, during conversation, the interviewer raised the possibility of Microsoft capitalizing on large player bases provided by Game Pass by leaning more heavily into paid expansions. Spencer said there's no top-down mandate on expansions, and not every game will do expansions. Because that's the thing I was thinking, too. It's like, yeah, let the people play the game for free. They're hooked into the game. They want the expansions. They pay. I feel like that's a fine model, but it looks like there's nothing really requiring that. It's really left to the creators what plan they have for their stories. I think it's a great way for us to re-engage players who may be lapsed. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't like expansions that are manipulative. I want it to have a unique point of view. I don't want it to be like the third level that you cut before you launched. I'm glad he's saying that out loud, actually. Let's see. Yeah, nothing else. Yeah, you talked about the handheld that might be a few years out. Watch out for that. That seems like it would be... Oh, but I still get up and on there because the heat gets on the figure. Sorry. He says it's a few years out, but I would think they would try to do something next year. I don't know. But maybe he's saying that on purpose because they can't, like, mess with the... What do you call it? The shareholders' expectations or something. Ultronymous is saying good expansions should be expansions, not just basic DLC with a different name to make it sound better. Yeah, and I remember from the 90s, and they were called expansion packs, I think, or expansions. Yeah, and it would be like, a game, or, like Warcraft 3 would have the Frozen Throne expansion. It was like, here's a whole new story, all new levels. It would be almost, and it would usually be a little cheaper. It'd almost just be like half of a game, but with a whole new area and stuff like that. I remember that with first-person shooters a lot, with Duke Nukem and Doom. And then I think what happened was by the mid-2000s, with Xbox 360, we started getting the horse armor DLC, where it was $5 for a skin, and that's when I think things started changing, where you could like look down upon DLC because it might just be, again, manipulative, like he's bringing up. Again, I always think Xbox is the good guy when it comes to video games. Almost where they're like a toxic positivity parent, where they tell their studios, oh yeah, good job, keep doing what you're doing, and then the games come out and they're just kind of like, there's no discipline. I remember I loved, and it doesn't exist anymore, but when Xbox was doing their custom soundtrack, it was coded into the hardware. So I would load songs into my Xbox, and then when I would play a game, it would just replace the music. So if I was playing a racing game, for instance, the menu music would be different than the music. Like if then I start a track, then all of a sudden a new song would start. I remember Project Gotham Racing doing that. And then all the backwards compatibility they do. So, in my opinion, Microsoft is the good guy here. Okay. Let's look at Famitsu sales. Mario and Luigi Brothership and Party Jamboree, whatever. Romancing Saga 2, Mario Kart 8, which is insane. Battle Spirits crossover, that sounds awesome. Nothing really standing out. Man, look at all the Switches that are still selling, even though they're down in sales. It's crazy. That's why they're not rushing out another Switch. Let's see. Zelda Designer's new coziest open world game has released yet. Okay, this is something that Infinity Nick. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I thought this looked very interesting when I saw this first announced. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's the graphics and it having the Breath of the Wild open world thing going on. I don't really care for character design, but there's a lot of neat things happening here. Let's see. And that was the thing I was about to say. You know what, though? It looks like an Unreal Engine 5 game. Now that I'm looking at the environments, they kind of just look realistic and bland. Not bland's the wrong word. They look realistic, but this game seems to put like a sheen over it to give it a more contrasty video gamey look, at least. Like a Breath of the Wild. Anyway, yeah, this is December 5th on PC, iOS, Android, and PlayStation. Not Xbox, but PC and Android. That's neat. The shoujo action adventure game. What does that mean exactly? Shoujo. I'm not familiar with that term. Let's see. Fishing, pet grooming. So that stuff. I mean, fishing's cool, but so it's a complete cozy game. So there's not any like action probably, and there's exploration. I'm interested. Oh, shoujo is female targeted. Oh, interesting. So that explains the like shonen for young boys. Cool. Thank you for enlightening me on that terminology, because I had no idea. So I think it would be easy to try this. I think it's free to play. And I like the idea of playing a cozy game that has the platforming, exploration, and activities like fishing. No combat, though, which games don't need combat. Like, I can get there's so much fun stuff I did in Breath of the Wild that wasn't based in combat. So that's cool. I'm down to check that out. Okay, Horizon Online could launch in 2025, job listing suggests. So this is very interesting. We don't have much information on what this Horizon Online would be, but it's like, why? Oh wait, and here we go. So in January, leaks revealed alpha footage from a multiplayer-based Horizon title along with the little key concept art. Okay, so not too much there. So, it really depends what they're doing with this, and it could be something new and unique we've never seen before. But I would say, in my opinion, what they could really do is just take the original Horizon style, but just make it where you can have, 20 people. Think about it. Having that open world where you could do all the normal things, and then you could be like, hey, there's a field over there with a bunch of dinosaur robots. You want to come with me? And then you go over there. I feel like that's all these games need to do. And Altronomus is hitting it. Sony really wants Horizon to become a big hit. Yeah, and that's the thing, neat concept, but then when you play it, it's like, well, there's not really anything going on, but the graphics are incredible. So it's like they know how to make good graphics. And I think at the base of what it is, it's competent. So I do think they could change the game, because what if Nintendo released Breath of the Wild 2 and it's 20-player co-op? Where it's, again, the whole Breath of the Wild map, but you're just running around with people. I mean, I think that's as simple as it needs to be. What was another game I was playing? Okay, so here's an example of where then they don't really get that. So Aliens Extermination. You know, the Alien game that came out a couple years ago that was the 4-player or 3-player co-op. And it was like mission-based. Like, it's like, cool, yes, I want to be with my friends in an Alien game, but not when it's constricted to, okay, here's a mission, and then you go through a corridor, and then there's a horde mode. I would rather it be, oh, Fireteam Elite, thank you. Thank you. I would rather it be like, well, here's a whole story, and you're traveling and doing all this stuff and running, and then you're just doing it with people. Like, and Destiny almost does it. It's just then it becomes like there's these raid-based things. Like there's not a easy jump in and out. Like, hey, I'm in this world. I'm gonna help you on this field. But you know what? Hey, I'm gonna head back to the camp, drop off my loot, and log off. You know, or Breath of the Wild to be like, hey, let's go get some wood from this forest and we can fight the bad guys that are there. And then it's like, hey, I'm gonna be done for the day. And the other person's like, okay, well, I'll finish, you know, building my stuff. You know, like, I feel like that's what's missing. The closest a game ever did that for me, and I bring it up here often actually, is that Siphon Filter Omega Strain, which was it had an awesome single player story, but anytime you could have other people with you, and if you happen to have other people with you, you can do the missions completely different. Okay. So anyway, the point with that is like, almost like what Ultronymous is saying, like they're pushing Horizon. What can they do that's interesting with this game? Will I ever one day beat a Horizon game? I don't know. I just have trouble the pacing, getting through it. Okay, this looked interesting. The first Berserker Kazan G-Star 2024 gameplay. I might have seen this before. Don't remember. I think I have to go, yeah, to make the screen bigger. So, I mean, this looks cool just graphics-wise, or art style. It's got some cool combat that looks, you know, like a Souls game. I think what it has going for it is the protagonist looks pretty interesting. But again, you can play the game and it just feels like any other action game. But I would give it a shot just because it does sort of stand out in a way. You know, because it's interesting with like Black Myth Wukong. I think it's a fun game. But it is at its core just a basic thing. And so I don't know how to, it's like well done. It's like something that's just super well done, but I know it. I've seen it. And maybe one day I'll have the itch to go back to it. But a lot of times I like to play a game where the mechanics themselves are interesting to me. Like I was talking about playing this Godzilla PS3 game. Those controls, I think a lot of people complained about it because the controls are to make you feel like you are Godzilla. It's very slow and methodical. It's very different. Most games can't get away with that because people would complain. That spin-off of Dungeon Fighter Online. Oh, what is Dungeon Fighter Online spin-off? Let's see. Oh, Dungeon Fighter Online SNK collaboration. Okay, I wanted some gameplay. I'll have to check that out. Project Barbecue. What is it? Yeah, I'll have to look this up. Let's see, let me type in, yeah, Project Barbecue. Game, that could be anything, right? Oh, so that's what this is. Fascinating. That is fascinating. Okay. But yeah, with this, okay, but now I'm all, hold on. Dungeon Fighter Online SNK. Okay, yep, it's part of the company's plan to expand its IP. DNF Duel by, oh, I have DNF Duel and I haven't played it. Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out, but I gotta be honest, this SNK thing is now but I don't want to see animation. I want to see gameplay. Is it here? Oh my God, there's an ad. It's like they don't want me to play it. Let me check something. Is it? Oh, I didn't have Steam launched. I wonder if it's on Steam. Okay, Steam is still launching. It's similar to what League of Legends has been doing. Oh, like making like the side story to expand the IP, which I think is a smart idea. Because it's almost like diversifying. Okay, Dungeon Fighter. Okay, here we go. Okay, so already the graphics look awesome. When did it say it started? Okay. Because I've always heard of it and seen it. I just never really bothered with it. But this could be my type of thing. Interesting. I'm going to hit add to library. But anyway, again, the SNK thing is what caught my attention. I don't... It must be like in-game or something. Okay, I'll check that out later. It is unless you show off different genres characters you probably couldn't otherwise. It's been around since the 360 era. Yeah, I thought that, and I think I've even played it a long time ago. Like, that's why it seemed very familiar. I'm gonna jump back into it because, oh, Golden Axe, double, okay. Oh, inspired by. I thought it said it had that stuff, but still, I like these games. I've been talking about that recently too, like playing these types of games, that Maiden Comps. Cool. Thanks, guys. This is why chat's awesome. I learn about new stuff. And then let's see. I think there's some other news I wanted to... I'll probably save this one for later. That would be a fun topic. Okay, so Ubisoft gets a new people officer, kind of like an HR thing, and I think they need that for everything that's been going on, so it's good to kind of see that type of movement. It's this dude, which doesn't have any experience with gaming, but I think that's okay because of the position. This is really just people, which anyone, no matter what industry, the right person is going to be able to know how to work with people, show compassion in the workforce, show appreciation. So hopefully that's what we get from that. And I think, let's see, what was the other... Yeah, I think that's about it. I'm going to look at the news real quick to see if there's anything else, but no, I need to start changing the news sources I pull from, because what's been happening lately is the news is about unlock some Black Ops 6 or company investor news, which maybe that's telling of the type of news people want to see when companies are closing or acquiring, or here's how to do something in Call of Duty. But from this, we had that Warcraft Direct, and they announced that Battle Chest, but it's not on Game Pass or Xbox, and so I'm sure that's going to happen. Maybe they're releasing it for sale first to see what that does, and then put it on Game Pass, but I feel like that would be something they would put on Game Pass. It could be that this was being worked on before the acquisition, and this was just their plan the whole time, so I can see that. Because I would like to play a Warcraft 2 remastered. Even Warcraft 1, I would be interested to see what they do with the controls. But, because back then the mouse was like single-click stuff. It was weird. But I don't think I could pay $40. The other thing I think was cool is, with the PS3 emulation, that you could put trophies into Exophase. I think that's great. And then Dungeon Fighter Online. I think I'm going to play that a little later. If not today, maybe tomorrow. I just feel like because it's like an online beat 'em up that you could do with people, like that should be fun. So, all right, guys. Okay, we're gonna end with this. Sonic 3's director is teasing a character reveal for a potential Sonic 4 movie. What would that character be? Because I think I've gotten to the point where I don't know what the character would be unless it has to, you know, again, there could be some characters in Sonic 3 that we don't know about, like a Chow or Chaos. Ultronus is saying my heart wants silver. And you know what? That's interesting because my son likes silver also. So maybe that's what it is, because I think he was in Sonic 2006, and I guess chronologically, wouldn't that be the next thing? Oh, there's Blaze. That's one. Even Big the Cat and Froggy. Okay, you're saying Metal Sonic. Yeah, did Sonic Heroes, though, introduce any new characters? But the Metal Sonic is interesting, because what if in the Sonic 3 movie that is going to be... Because there's that and there's Chaos, right? And I don't think they... Yeah, they didn't... I'm really interested to see how all out they go with Sonic 3 of, like, having less humans. Oh, Sonic Heroes introduced Omega. Okay. BioLizard... There's that too. Man, there's a lot that actually it could be. But if Amy and Rogue don't make it in 3, they should be in 3. I feel like 3 is gonna be less human stuff and it's gonna be all out Sonic fan service. At least they should. By the time they're making a 3rd movie, they know people are gonna see it. So yeah, anyway, let me go. I gotta get back to work. And the contractor's coming back this morning, so I gotta get prepared for that. But thanks, this was a fun, like, news-filled episode. It was a lot of fun, but we'll talk tomorrow. I'll see y'all later.